game for both teams, as both teams still with playoff hopes alive. Treader sweeping left side, submarined and down at the 44-yard line, just short of a first down. It'll be 3rd and inches for Middletown. And again, Middletown keeping the ball on the ground thus far on this first drive. And they will come up here, and their formation will be a double tight end formation. Baker directly behind Brown. Treader also in the backfield. Give. Baker, left side, first down. He picks up, we'll give him 3 yards on the carry up to the 47-yard line, where it'll be first down, Blue Raiders. Middletown started this drive after an interception by Brian Sayers, as East Pennsboro actually had a decent drive going to start the game. But Middletown's interception gives the Blue Raiders the ball, and they've got a first down on their own 47-yard line. Back split behind Brown. This time back to pass. Play action. Brown fires. Treader in the flat. He's got it complete across the 45 to the 40 and inside the 37-yard line of East Pennsboro. First down, Middletown, on a reception of 16 yards for Mike Treader. 7 minutes exactly left to go here in the first quarter of play. Middletown has an impressive drive started here. Corey Pristello, if you missed it in our pre-game show, out for the year. Broken leg, broken toe as a result of a hit late in that Lower Dauphin game in the fourth quarter and the final drive. Deep man in the power I for Middletown on 1st and 10 is Treader. He gets the carry and picks up 3 across the 35-yard line to the 34 of the Panthers of East Pennsboro. Be second down and 7 there. Again, Pristello starting wingback and also starting cornerback for this team. His place will be taken by Ben Nordai on defense, and on offense, his place will be taken by Bill Baker, who has been shuffling in and out at wingback as it is anyways. So we have a stoppage right now. The referees have an officials timeout here. Officials have said that they're going to try to keep All at Middletown Floors, 16 South Union Street in Middletown, 944-0.
Rhodes Pharmacy is ready for Halloween. Wide assortment of Hallmark Halloween cards, decorations, and gift items. Rhodes is a participating pharmacy. They even have delivery service and 24-hour emergency service. Rhodes Pharmacy is open 7 days a week in Hummelstown. In Middletown, Rhodes is open 9 to 8 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday. That's Rhodes Pharmacy, a proud supporter of Middletown and Lower Dauphin athletics.
Leonard Brown back to pass, rolling left, throws in the end zone, touchdown to Damian Floyd, and Middletown has taken a 6-0 lead. Great play action fake there from Brown, sweep left. It held the linebackers, and Floyd was able to get wide open in Middletown with the passing game gets on the scoreboard. So it'll be Scott Kleinpeter for the extra point. Here's a kid who has to be brimming with confidence after last week's game. Two clutch extra points, all the pressure in the world on this kid, and he came through for Middletown, and this time not near as much pressure. Maybe that'll take a little bit of the edge off here. Kleinpeter kick, blocked. Blocked, great maneuver from East Penn. Not sure who got his hands on it, but Justin Walker and Rodney were both there, and it could have been either one of them, and actually another 3 people were back there as well. Just bad line blocking from Middletown that time, and they lead it 6-0. Minute 49 left to go here in the first quarter. Middletown and East Pennsboro in a crucial game for both teams. Middletown comes in at 5-3, and if they have any hope at the playoffs, they must win tonight. They also must win next week against Mechanicsburg. Few teams. Some of those games are possible. Some of them, they need a divine intervention. For East Pennsboro, they need a win tonight against Middletown, which they already trail, and also next play a very unpredictable. Still as well, at least. Kleinpeter off again, kicks it high but very short. Yard line taken by one of the up men. Good field position.
trust, business, partnership, and corporate law. The law firm Zonarich is located in Harrisburg, Steelton, and 273 North Union Street in Middletown, the former practice of Albert Stewart. Evening appointments are available. Trust the law firm of Scarlatus and Zonarich for your legal needs. Call 944-5109. That's 944-5109.
Welcome back, Middletown's Memorial Field. Brian Kaiser along with Steve Leedy. Second quarter of action about to get underway. Middletown has run the ball very well here in the first series and also mixed the pass when they've had to. East Pennsboro trying to mix the pass in with the run as well. Not near as successful.
No, not near as successful is right. That's how both drives ended in the first quarter with interceptions. I'm sure they're thinking about running the football a little bit more.
Double tight end formation. Bill Baker split wide to the near side. Leonard Brown calls the signals, and Middletown's right tight end jumps. I believe that's Damian Floyd. He's going to cost the Raiders 5. We'll bring up a second down and 14 for Middletown.
Yeah, it's like another ugly night for football with the rain. We've had a good number of those this season with the rain coming down. Remember the CD game last week? It rained a little bit. Raining tonight. Seems like it only rains on Fridays.
It definitely doesn't rain during the summer, though, but it's making up for it on football nights. Second and 14 for Middletown at their own 40-yard line. Sweep to the far side is Treader, and he's brought down for a loss of 3. Whole host of players over there, and one of those in on the tackle. I believe that was Calvin Everett. So a loss of 3 for Treader makes it third down and very long for Middletown. Call it actually 17 yards to go for the Blue Raiders here in a definite passing situation. The question is, will Middletown do just that? Double wing formation this time. Single setback is Baker. One wide far, one wide near. Baker in motion coming to the near side. Brown back to pass, rolling left, has pressure, looking, fires across his body, has Nordine, but just can't quite get enough on it, incomplete. It would have been enough for the first down, but it's so tough to throw across your body when you're going the opposite direction.
And that just shows you the kind of athlete that Leonard Brown is. He almost got that there, throwing it. How many yards downfield? We'll say 20, 25
that was at least
yards.
25 yards about, yeah.
Downfield running to the near side. Actually had to throw it to the middle of the field. That was a very difficult throw. I'm surprised he even put it up.
So Nick Chortnoff will stand at his own 25-yard line to punt it away. It's away a high end-over-end kick that's taken by Everett at his own 33-yard line. He gets up to the right side and brought down by Ben Nordine after a gain of 7 on the return.
That was a nice tackle by Nordine. He was the only Middletown player to have his hands on him and just grabbed him and threw him to the ground. That's what you're supposed to do.
Injury situation for Middletown. If you missed it, Corey Prostella out for the year with a broken leg and toe. Also, a bout of mononucleosis has sidelined Keith Welsh. He will be out for this game as well. It's Mike Gussler starting in place of Welsh, and Nordine in place of Prostello on defense, Baker on offense for Prostello. East Pennsboro in the shotgun. Schreiber looking, fires, and throws it away. Middletown looking for the screen pass to Rodney Hart, and that's exactly what East Pennsboro had set up that time, and nothing there. Schreiber, a veteran move by throwing that ball where nobody was.
Yeah, it was good pressure there by Floyd of Middletown. Schreiber was looking to throw the ball, but Floyd jumped up and put his big mitts up, and he had to second guess himself, and then he didn't throw it, and he was forced to throw it away.
Middletown leads this game 6-0 over East Pennsboro. Panthers with the ball, 2nd and 10 at their own 40-yard line. 2 wide to the near side, 2 wide to the far side. In the shotgun is Schreiber, back to pass. Looking, he's going to run with the ball, and he's brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Brian Sino on the tackle, as was Damian Floyd. He picked up about a half a yard, so it's not going to be a quarterback quarterback sack for Middletown, but it does bring up a 3rd down and 10. And again, a passing situation for the Panthers.
Yeah, that seems like they're making every down a passing situation. They're coming out in the shotgun here in the 2nd quarter. Even with Shriver with 2 interceptions thus far, it must show the confidence that the Panthers have in their quarterback.
Interesting formation here on 3rd down and 10. Double tight end formation, pitches to Hart, sweeping left side. He's got a crease, tackled, and almost gets up to the 1st down. He actually got hit at the 45-yard line and scored it all the way 4 more yards up around the 49. He's going to be just short of a 1st down. They're going to call him about 1.5 yards short. It'll be 4th and not much to go with 9:30 left to go here in the 1st half. Middletown leading 6-0, and question is, what does East Pennsboro do here? They look like they may just go for it. It's the stage of the season that you see a lot more teams go for it, but instead they come up in punt formation. Middletown very wary of a fake, though, as they send only one man back, and now Bill Baker will join Treader deep to receive the punt. Rodney Hart in motion, and a flag is thrown. Probably too much time taken by the East Pennsboro Panthers.
Yeah, I would tend to think that they may have been setting up for the fake there. Even with Hart going in motion, Middletown obviously would have seen that and concentrated on the fake a little more, but it may have gone somewhere else. I think it's a gamble we're taking. 4th and 2 at midfield. Sounded good to me, but now definitely not.
Also, the element of surprise is also missing from that situation.
That is true.
So it's 4th and 7. Back deep to punt is Joe Walker. He's a backup quarterback for this team. Also another possibility for a fake, but he will boot it away now on 4th and 7. And back to return it is Treader. He has trouble with it, drops it, and falls right on top of it at the 25-yard line of Middletown. That's where the Blue Raiders will start their offense once again.
Well, Brian, Mike Treader now knows when the football is his friend. It hits the ground and it bounces straight up into the breadbasket, and he just wisely fell on it. A lot of times, that football shaped a little weird. If it lands wrong, it'll bounce one way, the other way, but that time it went straight back up into Treader's stomach, and he fell on it.
Middletown comes up again, double tight end formation. Treader and Baker behind Brown. Bill Baker to the near side. Give is to J.J. Baker, sweeping left side. He's got one man to beat and does not beat him to the corner, but a pickup of 6 yards on the play anyways, making the tackle, getting underneath Baker that time.
It's Mike Weaver.
Mike Weaver, the defensive back. Tell me that isn't a mismatch. Weaver at 5'9", 155 pounds. J.J. Baker at 5'10", but 220 pounds. And Weaver did a great job getting underneath the big man.
He did. He cut off Baker's angle to the outside and just took his legs out from under him. That'll stop him.
2nd and 4 from the 31-yard line of Middletown for the Blue Raiders. Give again. Baker, left side, has a big hole again. And he's up to the 39-yard line, gain of 8. 1st down, Middletown.
J.J. Baker is rapidly closing in on 1,000 yards for the season. As we mentioned before, he had 9:23 coming into this game, so he needs just 77 tonight, and he has 52 already, so he just needs 25 yards to go over the 1,000-yard mark for the season.
Unofficially, of course.
Unofficially? Well, it's Larry Etter from the Press and Journal. If it's wrong, we'll blame him.
Okay, Baker again gets the ball. Big carry again, 6 yards up to the 45-yard line as Middletown content just to go Baker left. Baker left here on this series. And why not when he's picking up 6 yards a pop? 6-0 Middletown is the score. And the Blue Raiders have a 2nd down and 4. And just across their own 45-yard line. Double tight formation again. Actually unbalanced line to the right side. And Leonard Brown calls timeout. We're going to take one as well. He didn't like something he saw. It was 6:48 left to go here in the 1st half. It's Middletown 6, East Pennsboro nothing. Back after this on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Hey, this is Lisa Cashel.
And this is Brian Albers.
Tune in this week to the Spin Radio Network. We'll be catching up with the New York City vibe of Luna, and we'll also be talking to Edsel about recording in Liverpool.
We'll also be spinning exclusive tracks from artists like Tricky, Stanford Prison Experiment, and Edwin Collins.
See you then.
Spin Network, Tuesdays at 6 on Super 91 WMSS Middletown.
Welcome back, Middletown's Memorial Field. It's Parents' Night out here. I really had a question whether or not they were going to do that or not, but since they do have playoff hopes remaining, and this probably will not be their last home game, as they have a Steel High game coming up later, but Lord knows if that's going to come off or not. Middletown's playoffs hopes dim. They have Parents' Night tonight just to make sure that the seniors get their night of recognition, and that ceremony was done before the game. Second down and 4, unbalanced line to the near side this time, and wide, splits by the lineman, give Baker, and he's going to be short of a first down. Picks up only 2, and there's a penalty flag thrown. I didn't see exactly what happens, but the fans saw it, and I saw the aftermath of it, and it's going to be a personal foul against East Pennsboro. A late hit on one of the players from the Panthers side. And that's going to give Middletown a first down, and that's just a stupid play there. Unnecessary. You've stopped Baker short of a first down. You make a great defensive play, and then you do something stupid like that.
Yeah, that gives Middletown 15 yards and a first down in this situation. That's definitely not a wise thing to do from East Pennsboro, especially down 7-0 here in the first half.
Post-possession foul, or post-play foul, so Baker does get the 2 yards he picked up on that play. It'll be first down and 10 for Middletown at the East Pennsboro 38-yard line.
They love the double tight end left here.
And they fake it left. Leonard Brown running right side, has a lot of room again. Following Mike Dukes, has a lot of room to the 30. Cuts back to the middle. 25, 15, 10, 5. Breaks a tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Leonard Brown. Great job following the blocker. Mike Dukes opens up the hole, and Middletown opens up a 12-0 lead.
Now it's a 39-yard run from Brown. They had the double tight end to the left, and it looks like the entire East Pennsboro team bought it, except for 2 defenders that were on the far side, and Mike Dukes handled the one, and Brown just ran around the other, and he cut it back to the near side, and he only had one man to beat, and he kind of just went around him into the end zone for the touchdown. Middletown leads 13-0, and Scott Kleinpeter out. Nope, check that. They're going to come out in the full house backfield here and go for 2.
Well, you're up by 12. You missed the extra point earlier. Leonard Brown sends Treader in motion. Single setback is Baker. Rolling right is Brown. Fires in the end zone and throws it over the head of Bill Baker, who was wide open. So the extra point, the 2-point conversion try is unsuccessful. We're going to take a break. 6:18 left to go in the first half. Middletown 12, East Pennsboro nothing. Back after this on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Talk about service.
People are really friendly and they are very helpful. They help you find what you need.
Talk about value.
I've saved as high as $25, $30 in 1 week.
Talk about quality and freshness.
Deli's fresh. Everything's fresher.
Let's talk about all the reasons why Fox's Market.
Did it get any better?
Yeah, a little bit. 6:18. Okay, after this, I want you to bring us back. No in-out music, please.
8:18, 6:18.
John, is our signal going in over there, or are we not?
You're only in on the shore mixer. Zircon.
I'm talking VCR.
Yes.
So what I'm saying. Okay. Okay, no in-out here. Respect. Welcome back, Middletown's Memorial Field. Kickoff by Kleinpeter, squibbed along the ground and picked up by an up man, and that is Paul Ott. And he picks up about 6 yards on the return, and East Pennsboro will start things off again in pretty good field position at their own 41-yard line.
Well, looks like Middletown is coming out with the mindset of, well, let's just give them squib kicks all night. That's all we've seen from Kleinpeter. And I'm sure he hasn't just muffed 3 of them. I'm sure it's a devious plan by the Middletown coaching staff.
You've got a wet ball, a wet field. You never know what can happen in that situation. That's why they're doing it. Single setback is Hart behind Schreiber. Schreiber back to pass, though. He'll roll, has a lot of room to the left side of the field. He goes across midfield and is submarined. I believe that was Nordai who came up, but no containment at all from the Middletown defensive line, and a big gain of 13 yards up to the Middletown 46-yard line for the East Pennsboro quarterback.
And what happened that time is all the receivers on the far side ran deep routes, so all the Middletown defenders were sucked way back, and Schreiber, he saw a lot of open green grass and brown mud and had a big pickup of 13.
2 to either side, wideouts that is, and the draw play goes to Hart. He goes left side, has a lot of room again. Across the 40 to the 35-yard line and knocked out of bounds. Nordai again on the tackle, but it looks like another first down for the East Pennsboro Panthers on the delayed handoff.
Yep, that's 12 yards for Rodney Hart. He's only seen the ball 4 times, but he has 38 yards in the game for the Panthers.
Middletown really having a tough time tackling him so far. And East Pennsboro has that at the 34-yard line of Middletown. Got a slot and a wide near side and a timeout called by East Pennsboro. We're going to take a break. 5:28 left to go here in the first half. Middletown leads at 12-0 over East Pennsboro. Back after this on the Blue Raiders Sports Network. Okay, one spot for each break unless I tell you otherwise for the rest of the game. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Middletown's Memorial Field. Brian Kaiser along with Steve Leedy. Sideline reporters are Matt Demme, and also we have Andy Cochran and Jason Horner down on the field. So 2 wideouts to either side. Play action fake by Schreiber. Fires out in the flat to Rodney Hart. And he catches the ball, and he's out of bounds at the 29-yard line, pulled out by Bill Baker. Nice little catch by Hart. That's a pickup of 5 on first down. We'll bring up a second down and 5 at the Middletown 29-yard line. Incidentally, this is where both East Pennsboro drives thus far in this game have stalled, as Schreiber has thrown 2 interceptions, both into the hands of Brian Sayers. So now again, 2 wide to the left, 2 wide to the right. Hart directly behind Schreiber. The give. Hart has a good hole. He's across the 20-yard line. A great tackle from Mike Treader. Takes Hart down at the 24. He's going to be very close to a first down. Maybe just short by a foot or so. They're going to say he's short by a good...
Yeah, looks like by about a yard. That was a great tackle by Treader. Hart hit him with a full head of steam, and Treader just hit him low and buried him into the ground.
3rd down and 1. Full house backfield includes Justin Walker, a lineman, as one of the up men. Give to the deep man in the eye. That's Rodney Hart. He follows his blockers, bounces to the outside, and has a little bit of daylight. And he steps out of bounds, or he may have been off to the races. He squirted his foot out of bounds, and he picks up, I think, about 8 yards on the play. Down to the 15-yard line, just short of the 15. A good use of the power eye, and East Pennsboro has their deepest penetration into Middletown territory of the game with 3:57 and counting. Or actually, the clock is stopped on the out of bounds, but 3:57 left to go here in the first half of play. Swigert, Everett to the near side. 2 more to the far side. Shotgun formation for Schreiber. Back to pass. Fires. Everett across the middle. Intercepted. Mike Dupes at the 5-yard line. At the 15. Now on the return and knocked out of bounds at the 17, 18-yard line of Middletown. Mike Dubes, the third interception of quarterback Greg Schreiber. And Middletown again stymies an East Pennsboro drive.
Now, 3 interceptions in the first half. That's the story for these Panthers tonight thus far. It seems like they have bad fortune at this field, as they've already been here once this year against Lower Dauphin. And Lower Dauphin pretty much had their way with them.
And Schreiber threw a bunch of picks in that game as well.
A bunch of picks in that game. So maybe they just don't like Middletown Memorial Field.
Dupes got all the way out to the 19-yard line, a 14-yard return, and now J.J. Baker back on the prowl. Pick up a 5 up to the 24-yard line as he bounced outside the tackle on the dive play left. And is going to have that for a gain of 5. Second down and 5 upcoming for Baker. And how close is he now to that, unofficially, of course, Steve Leedy, how close is he to the 1,000-yard mark?
Well, we have 65 yards for him tonight. He needed 77, so about 12 yards.
We'll see if Baker gets the carry again here. You've got tight end and wing to the near side, split to the far side. Treader and Baker behind Brown. Give on the sweep is Treader. Sweeping left side, has a big hole to the 30. Cuts outside of the 35 and pulled out of bounds, and just barely by Ott. All the way up to the 39-yard line until Treader was knocked out of bounds, gain of 15.
And a great job on that play by Mike Dupes with a block on the outside, man. Really sprung Treader to a big hole.
You've got 4 linemen near side, wing is to the far side. Give, Baker, brought down in the backfield as he was hit by Tim Martz, a 5'9", 145-pound linebacker. These East Pennsboro Panthers are undersized, but you know, every once in a while they come up and get good penetration. You see good technique from this team, and they make the stop on Baker for actually a loss of a yard there.
Yeah, there's been a few times tonight when we've seen a totally undersized guy make a big tackle on J.J. Baker.
Double tight end formation, wing to the near side, back split behind Brown. Give, Treader left side, runs right into Matt Keys. Big Matt Keys, a 6-foot linebacker for East Pennsboro, and Treader no match there. Loss of 3 on the play. It brings up a 3rd down and 14 at the Middletown 35-yard line.
Well, 3rd down and 14. Let's see what Middletown does here with 2 minutes and counting here in the second quarter. I wouldn't be surprised to see Middletown just hold on to the ball and run it out here. Try to run some time off the clock so East Pennsboro doesn't get any time to set up on offense. It's a 3rd and 14. Wings to both sides. Baker is the lone setback.
Back to passes. Brown sweeping right side, has a man on his tail, and he buries him. And a fumble, and East Pennsboro takes over. The big hit in the backfield by Joe Walker, and East Pennsboro recovers as Brown didn't have a prayer. Had no chance that time, and Walker was on top of him from the blind side. Recovery made by East Pennsboro at the Middletown 28-yard line, and with 1:36 left to go in the first half, East Pennsboro has a big opportunity here to get back in this game.
Yes, they do. Let's see if they go to Hart here. Hart has had success almost every time he has touched the ball here in the first half. He's the lone setback. Twins to both sides. Schreiber will hand it off to Hart. Hart will be tackled in the backfield by Dupes, and now he gets a little help from his friends. Actually, it wasn't Dupes.
It was Shirk on the big hit there. And the last timeout, I believe, is called by East Pennsboro. We're going to keep it right here and remind you that during the halftime show, we're going to have the pregame interview that I did with Coach Craig Robbins of East Pennsboro that we were unable to get to you during our pregame show. We will have that on. I'll also talk a little bit about the playoff possibilities in District 3. A lot of interesting scenarios that we can talk about there. And
what's that? Interesting scenarios if Team A beats Team B and Team C beats Team D and Team E loses their next 2 games and Team F does this,
And
then Middletown can make it to the playoffs. Is that what we're looking at?
That's what we're looking at right now, basically. It's so interesting how in District 3 it always seems to go down to the last week. Each division, be it quad A, triple A, double A, or single A, each region always seems to have a race go right down to the wire every single year. Okay, back to action. Second down and call it 15 at the Middletown 33-yard line. Schreiber in the shotgun, snap a little bit high, forced out of the pocket by Baker, and he's forced to throw it out of bounds. Is Schreiber will bring up a third down and 15 for East Pennsboro.
Yeah, but one thing's for sure this year, there will be some district playoff games here on WMSS, probably with Lower Dauphin. We're definitely looking at broadcasting the Lower Dauphin games, and if you're a business in the Hummelstown area in the Lower Dauphin School District, give us a call, 948-9136, and help us bring the Lower Dauphin Falcon Quad A playoffs to your home here on WMSS Middletown.
Third down and 15. Fake is to Hart. Schreiber rolling right, looking across the field, has Hart wide open, and he's got a big room. Blocked on Treader by Everett into the end zone with a dive is Rodney Hart Jr. He caught the ball at the 22-yard line, had a lot of daylight to the left side of Middletown's defense all the way to the right because of the roll of the quarterback. And because of the roll right by Schreiber, Hart was able to get free, and Calvin Everett with a great block on Mike Treader gets East Pennsboro into the end zone and onto the scoreboard. 12-6 our score now with 54 seconds left to go here in the first half, and extra point is pending. Justin Prince is the kicker for East Pennsboro. He's a 5'11", 165-pound senior. Schreiber is the holder. Ball placed down. Kick is up. Kick is no good. He pushed it to the right. And a big extra point next for East Pennsboro leaves the score 12-6 in favor of Middletown. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the kickoff. See if Middletown can do something right before the end of the first half. Our score, Middletown 12, East Pennsboro 6. Back after this on the Blue Raiders Sports Network. Okay. Welcome back, Middletown's Memorial Field. Brian Kaiser along with Steve Leading. We're getting ready for the kickoff after East Pennsboro scores their first points of the ballgame. A great pass of 33 yards from Greg Schreiber to Rodney Hart. Interesting kickoff formation, and Justin Prince with a little pooch kick that's taken by the up-back J.J. Baker, and that's not necessarily the guy you want to get it to, but he's brought down at the 40-yard line for Middletown, and with 50 seconds left to go in the first half, we'll see what Middletown has in store. Leonard Brown comes out on the field, and again during Middletown on this situation, the clock runs after the change of possession, so we'll see if Middletown just tries to run it out at the end of the first half, or if they're actually going to attempt to go for something here. They line up in a double tight formation. Actually, too tight to the far side. Back split behind Brown. Give, Treader, sweeping left. Now cuts it back inside across midfield and at the 49-yard line. Good game for Treader of 11 yards. First down Middletown. And they go directly to the line of scrimmage as they take a tight end out and now spread Damian Floyd and Mike Treader wide near side. Bill Baker and Sayers split wide far side. Brown in the shotgun. 25 seconds left and counting. Brown back to pass. Looking, almost slips down. Now fires. Treader incomplete, just barely overthrown that time by Brown as he had Treader a little bit open on the near sideline around the 30-yard line. Treader catches that ball in stride. He's gone. 17 seconds left to go in the first half. And again, same formation for Middletown. Back to pass on 2nd and 10. Brown fires down to Damian Floyd, incomplete. And there's an injury for Middletown. Wondering what that is. If we could get that information from our wireless men. On a 3rd down and 10. And I believe Middletown has called timeout. And if our wireless unit is working correctly, we are going to go down on the field to them. Down on the field to our Andy Cochran.
Brian, it seems that DJ Kaiser has hurt his deltoid here earlier in first half, and he will return to the game in the second half. Back upstairs, Brian.
Well, thank you very much for that. And so DJ Kaiser, a key contributor for this Middletown team. He will be back in the second half, though, so that's good news for Middletown. Saw him walking around on the sidelines there earlier. And guy who goes both ways for the Blue Raiders, as a lot of these players do. He's a hard worker, and Dennis Etsy really praised him in my pregame interview with him. So Middletown on a 3rd down and 10, 11 seconds left, double wing formation, give us to Baker up the middle, and nothing doing. 2 yards for Baker, and clock will stop because of change of ball, but with 4 seconds left, Middletown actually, Dennis Etsy wants a timeout. And we'll keep it right here to remind you to stay tuned for the halftime show with Middletown up. The referees not in sync with each other there. East Pennsboro trying to get off the field. Unaware that Middletown tried to call timeout, and they had it well. With 4 seconds left, they had a timeout called. But no one ever gave the indication to the scoreboard operator on the field. So Middletown will get 4 seconds put back on the clock, and we'll get 1 crack at the end zone here. Not a bad opportunity here for Middletown. We'll see what they come up with.
Well, it's going to have to be a long crack at the end zone if they're going to go for it. Leonard Brown's going to have to put this ball up a good ways.
Again, on our halftime show, Craig Robbins, East Pennsboro head coach, an interview with him, as well as a little bit of playoff scenario, and who knows what else. Anything is possible when you're talking the halftime show here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Actually, it's going to be a short halftime show because we're going to do some technical tests during the halftime.
Very important.
Our engineer, Tim Starlipper, is madly working on this stuff.
He's fiddling again. Back to pass is Leonard Brown. He's taken down for a sack, and that's the end of the first half. Justin Walker gets him a yard behind the line of scrimmage, and that's the end of the first half of play with our score. Middletown 12, East Pennsboro 6. Back with the halftime show after this on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Hello. Stop, yeah.
Anyway, I can sit down there and watch the rest of the game.
Here for the Panthers of East Pennsboro. Once again, a 12-7 lead for Middletown. Middletown will be receiving the ball, or rather 12-6 lead for the Raiders. Treader is the deep man back for the Raiders. And there's the kickoff. It's short and overhead taken by Bill Baker at about the 17-yard line. And he's hit at the 27-yard line, and that's where he will be stopped. And that's where the Raiders will take over here in the second half.
And J.J. Baker, just a few yards short, I believe 11 yards short.
Yes, by my account, he is 11 yards short of going for 1,000 yards this season. Now Middletown will have it on their own 29-yard line to start things off. Wing, far side. Double tight end set, split backfield handoff goes to Baker, running around the far side, goes out across the 35-yard line. There's a pickup of about 8. There he got most of that 11 yards he needed.
Actually, we're going to check with Larry Etter as well and see how how close his calculations are, but according to our calculations, Baker within 3 yards of 1,000, so we will find that information out as soon as possible.
As it will be a second, and we'll call it a short 2 for the Raiders. Split backfield, wing, and split to the near side. And we've got movement on the line. Looks like it's going to be against Middletown.
Yeah, it looked like the right guard pulled out a little bit early that time, trying to get a head start on the run blocking. Larry Etter, the official scorer of this game, has Middletown and J.J. Baker 6 yards away. So Baker's 6 yards away from the 1,000-yard mark for the season.
So I was generous on a few of those half-yard calls and gave him a couple extra.
Who can fault you?
As we got split backfield. Fumbled snap. Leonard Brown looks like he got back on it. And Middletown will retain possession.
And, I mean, a very fortunate play. And you see it every once in a while when you've got conditions like this. And it has stopped raining for the time being. But, you know, the field is still a little bit slick. And you try to keep the balls as dry as possible. But, you know, it's not always the easiest thing for the referees and also the sideline people to do. You try your best, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. Ball slips out, and Middletown almost turns it over.
Split backfield handoff is to Treader. Treader's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and thrown down. And Middletown will be forced to punt. As a big stop by, looks like East Pennsboro's Brian McGeehan on that play.
I don't understand the call there, though. You know, a 3rd down and 7 for Middletown, and a chance to establish something to start off the second half. You've got a quarterback who really improved last week a lot, and instead of throwing the ball, you run the football, and Treader didn't get anything.
Jortnoff's punt will be taken by Calvin Everett, and he gets out almost to midfield, and that's where East Pennsboro will start things off, as they will have good field position here for their first drive of the second half. And they only trail by 6 points in this game, and it's a big game for East Pennsboro. Should they win, they do clinch a berth in the Double-A playoffs.
And we welcome all of our listeners who are at home. Not a bad night to stay home with the weather conditions, but we welcome all of our listeners out there, and we should have a dandy one down the stretch. Still a lot of time left, though, in the third quarter.
Greg Schreiber drops back pass. It's a pass in the flats to Everett, and he picks up about 6 yards, cutting back into the center of the field. And it'll be a 2nd and 4 for the Panthers.
Everett's just a dandy back. He's a guy who normally plays in the backfield along with Hart, but how East Pennsboro is running their offense, they realize they need their 2 biggest offensive threats on the field at the same time, so they're splitting Everett out wide. And just on that play alone, a quick little slant pass, and just shows the kind of speed that makes him so dangerous for this team.
And he's only a sophomore. Twins, near side, Hart the lone setback, and Hart going up the middle, still standing on his feet, but he finally gets taken down after a pickup of a few yards. To bring up a 3rd and short situation for the Panthers. As you got to think they're in a 4-down territory here anyway, but I'm sure we'll see an either Hart or Everett run here on 3rd.
You'd have to think they're in 4-down territory here because their defense has really picked it up here in the second half. They're going to go with the power I.
The power I to the near side. Handoff goes to the deep man. That's Hart. And he gets about 7 yards on the burst up the middle.
You know what really makes that effective is Justin Walker lining up in the backfield. He's an offensive guard, and you send the offensive guard up with a head of steam up through the hole, and that time Middletown just let him fly through the hole, and Walker didn't have anybody to hit but Treader, and everyone else let him go by and converged on Hart, but not until after he picked up a 1st down.
Panthers go shotgun here. Hart, this lone setback. Schreiber is going to be met in the backfield and dropped for a loss by Middletown. Looks like DJ Kaiser in on the sack for the Raiders, and it's going to be 2nd and 13 for the Panthers from the Middletown 39-yard line.
And that was a designed quarterback draw that time for East Pennsboro, as back to pass when Schreiber waited for a second. And they picked up on something in the first half. Middletown was collapsing the pocket, but that time the defensive tackles stayed home, and it was either Shirk or Kaiser able to get the sack.
Twins near side. It's going to be a quick pop pass to Everett, and he never really saw it coming as he didn't go for the ball, as Bill Baker was right there as well. It was almost as if Everett wasn't expecting it to come at him that fast. And Schreiber now 5 for 12 for 65 yards in this ball game, facing a definite passing situation here on 3rd and 13. But you can't rule out the draw with Rodney Hart Jr. as he's the lone setback. Twins near side wing to the far side. Schreiber back to pass, looking across the middle of the field. He's got a man wide open. It's Hart. And he got the first down inside the 20-yard line. No, that's not Hart.
That's Mike Weaver.
Mike Weaver.
What a great catch from Weaver. He's only 5'9", the ball thrown kind of high. Schreiber just had him all the way, and Middletown has been lax on the coverage towards the middle of the field with this 4 wide receiver set. They've been letting the wideouts go to the inside and trying to cover them towards the sidelines. Instead, that time they read the seam in the zone, went right to the middle, and wide open was Weaver for a nice catch in the first down.
Lone setback is Hart. They have trips to the far side. Handoff goes to Hart up the middle. Gets a nice gain of about 5-6 yards before being tackled. Rodney Hart with a pickup of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4.
And DJ Kaiser almost made that play in the backfield, but again, Hart he's not a big guy, and that really helps him a lot of times. He's only 5'7", 165 pounds. He's very quick and powerful and very elusive. And right there, just that lack of size, Kaiser was unable to really do anything except just make Hart bounce off of him, and Hart scored it ahead for another 5.
Twins to both sides. Hart the lone setback. Schreiber back to pass. Looking to the far side. It's going to be overthrown. Intended receiver was Dion Magaro. But it was overthrown by about a few yards. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 4. Important series here for the Middletown defense to try to stop this drive and keep East Pennsboro off the board from taking the lead.
A big series for East Pennsboro, too. This is a chance to really establish the momentum. They had momentum by scoring late in the first half. Middletown unable to do anything on their first drive. Good defensive stop from East Pennsboro, thanks to a penalty in part. And now a chance here to really keep the momentum going their way.
It's the power eye with Walker being the power, and he leads the way for Hart as Hart tries to cut it back into the center of the field, and it's going to be close to a first down. Not sure about the spot here, and he does have it. So a pickup of 5 yards.
Injured Middletown player as well down on the field, writhing in pain.
We'll see if we can get our guys on the field, see if they can see who it is. It looks like our Matt Demi.
I think we actually have a better angle.
Yeah, we might have a better shot, but it's laying in an awkward position for us to be able to see his number from here.
Speculating, I'm saying possibly. I don't see Damian Floyd out there right now, and Hefner just came in. I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong, but that's actually what I have right now. It's DJ Kaiser, as they send Sino in. At first, they sent Randy Hefner in, and then changed their mind and brought Sino in. But Kaiser walking off the field under his own power, and he had a little bit of an injury problem in the first half. He's a guy you don't want to lose, but he's a guy that with a little bit of depth that Middletown does have at the defensive tackle position, you can replace at least for a few plays.
Yeah, you can tell the officials want to get this game over. They started the clock, and Kaiser's not even off the field. Power eye to the left. Handoff goes to the deep man. That's Hart. And he's down close to the goal line. And it looks like he's going to be a yard shy of getting into the end zone. Another pickup of 5 for Hart.
You're just seeing exactly why Rodney Hart's just such a tremendous a tremendous running back by squirting through a hole that really wasn't there that time.
Power ride to the left again, handoff again to Hart, and he's going to be stopped for a loss. Big stop there. Bill Baker, Leonard Brown, both there for Middletown.
And Ben Nordai as well was there for Middletown as they just got right up there. And it's great when the secondary comes up and makes a big play, and that's what happened for Middletown in that situation.
So it's going to be a 3rd and goal from the 3.5-yard line, we'll call it. Looks like they're going to come out in the power I again. Power I to the right this time. It's a pitch. It's to Hart. Hart trying to cut up the middle, and he's going to be stopped again before getting into the end zone. Looks like he may have lost another half yard. They're going to move it back to the 4-yard line, and it's a big stand here being put up by the Middletown defense. So it will be 4th and goal. East Pennsboro calls timeout. We'll take one as well. 4:06 left to play, 3rd quarter. Middletown 12, East Pennsboro 6. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Blue Raider Sports Network. Welcome back, Middletown Memorial Field, and it's going to be a 4th down and goal for the East Pennsboro Panthers as they trail in this game 12-6.
Interesting call here is 4th and 4. The good thing for East Pennsboro is if they make this, if they don't make this, it still puts Middletown deep in their own territory. So if East Pennsboro's defense can come up big, they get good field position again. The problem for East Pennsboro is they've run Rodney Hart 3 times on this 1st and goal, and on 1st down they gained 5, and in the last 2 plays they've lost 3. So I think you're going to see a possible pass or maybe a delayed give this time to Hart. We'll see what happens.
Now Hart is the lone setback. Man in motion to the far side, gives him trips formation. It's a sweep, and it's a give in the backfield by Hart to Everett, and he's going to be stopped short of the end zone, and Middletown will take possession on downs. It was a quick counter give. It was the pitch to Hart. Hart hands it to Everett, and he tries to cut it back to the middle, and Middletown was there.
The key to the reverse play is you have to get to the outside, and the key to that play for stopping it for Middletown, Tyrone Noon getting great penetration from the right defensive end spot, getting out there and forcing Everett to turn back, cut into the strength of the Middletown defense, where Middletown was able to bring Everett down easily short of the goal line.
The Middletown takes over on their own 4-yard line, split backfield. Handoff goes to Baker, and Baker has a hole and bulldozes over an East Pennsboro defender on a pickup of about 4 yards. So that means we still have him 2 shy of 1,000 for the season.
Okay, we're going to go down on the field to our Matt Demi.
Thank you, Brian. DJ Kaiser, who was injured a couple plays ago from Middletown, he had a stinger to his left brachial plexus, which is his left shoulder. Back upstairs.
Thank you very much, Matt Demi. And again, 2 yards short of 1,000 for the season is J.J. Baker.
Handoff again goes to Baker. Baker cuts it inside, and he's got about 6 yards, and that's going to put him over the 1,000-yard mark for the season. J.J. Baker picks up the 1st down, and now by my account has 84 yards for the night. And we have him at 1,003 yards for the season.
And another guy who went over 1,000 yards in this game also was Rodney Hart. So that's 2 guys who went over 1,000 yards in this football game for either team.
Handoff again goes to Baker, and Baker will be stopped after picking up another 4 or 5 yards, as Baker has 88 yards in tonight's game on 21 carries. Middletown wants to put the ball into the hands of J.J. Baker. He doesn't fumble very much, and he's always good for at least a few yards. He'll always give you 100% out there on the football field.
No question about that. He's a tough competitor and just a solid player both ways for Middletown.
Split backfield, double tight end, set wing near side. And it's play action, and Brown's going to keep it himself. He's got Dupes blocking for him. Nice block by Dupes, and it actually springs Brown for about 5 extra yards. And it's going to be a pickup of 11 on the quarterback keeper. And Brown has 68 yards rushing tonight.
You know, and that's because last week he did such a great job running the football that Middletown said, hey, you know what? We have not only our halfback, our fullback, and also occasionally our wingback as running options, but we also have our quarterback. And I think the injury to Corey Prostello really brought Brown into the fray as a runner this week.
Handoff goes to Treader. Treader sprinting to the far side, gets hit, stays on his feet. Nice show of balance by Mike Treader as he stumbled for about 6 of his 8 yards on that carry. He looked like he hurdled a defender, and he picks up 8. Nice job by Treader.
And that goal line stand from Middletown down on their own, actually the 1 yard line at second down, really has fired up this team that really appeared kind of listless in this game. We knew it was going to be tough for them to come out and play against East Pennsboro after the tough loss last week, but they're doing a great job of it.
Split backfield handoff goes to Baker, and Baker may get one, as it's a good job by the East Pennsboro defense of clogging the hole. They're going to give him about a half of a yard, so we'll give him 1. And it's going to bring up a 3rd, and it looks to be a long one.
And the Rains have come back to the field, and that obviously has to favor Middletown a bit here because they have the ball and they have the lead.
Only rains on Friday nights in central Pennsylvania. Split backfield, wing to the near side, double tight end set again. Handoff, Baker, near side, big hole, got the first down. And that will probably end the 3rd quarter of play.
And a rapidly moving 3rd quarter as well.
As the clock will run. Nice pickup of another 8 yards by J.J. Baker. And that will end the 3rd quarter of play. With our score, Middletown 12, East Pennsboro 6. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network. Welcome back. Middletown's War Memorial Field. Steve Leedy along with Brian Kaiser in Middletown comes into the final stanza with a 12-6 lead. Now for the call of the final quarter of play, here's Brian Kaiser.
Well, thank you very much, Steve Leedy. And obviously Middletown with J.J. Baker, you know, he's as the season has worn on, he has gotten more and more of the carries, and we're seeing that tonight. He's just getting he's doing yeoman's work in there for the Blue Raiders. And
he's seen the ball 23 times tonight so far.
It will be the tight end and wing to the near side. Give Treader sweeping left side. He's got a blocker in front. That's Dupes, and he seals the corner nicely. Across the 45 and down inside the 45-yard line, around the 41-yard line. Actually very close to the 40-yard line is Treader. And a big gain there. And again, it's Mike Dupes on the block.
Mike Dupes has played an excellent game. We got an injury down here on the field. Looks like one of East Pennsboro's players, not sure on the number.
I think it may be Magaro, actually. No, Magaro is out there. Whoever it is, his number ends in 2, so and it's not Everett, I don't think. So we will check to see exactly who that is.
But you are correct. Mike Dupes is playing one heck of a game.
You know what? I'd have to give him the player of the game right now if we had to give it to anyone, because anytime Middletown's been running the ball, a big gainer out in front of the play, there's Mike Dupes.
Yeah, most of the time it's an outside run. a sweep play. It's been Dupes. He's been the guy there. And that time he looked like he sealed off 2 or 3 East Pennsboro players and sprung Treader for another good 6, 7, 8 yards.
That's Brian Portsline down for East Pennsboro. He's a 6'1", 220-pound senior linebacker. And he's a guy, one of the few guys with a lot of bulk up there for East Pennsboro. So that would be a tough loss for them. I believe they're checking his legs right now. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more of the fourth quarter. Again, 11:53 left to go in the fourth. Middletown 12, East Pennsboro 6. Big game for both teams. Back after this on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Bring us back right after this one.
Okay, bring us
No in-out
back.
music, guys. No in-out music.
Double tight formation. Give to Baker going left side. Has a little crease and sneaks up for about 3 yards. Up to the 37-yard line. J.J. Baker for 3 yards on 1st and 10. And that gives Middletown a second down and a long 7 at the East Pennsboro 37-yard line. And I'll tell you what, this is the way to totally take any momentum that may have been there for East Pennsboro and also kill a whole lot of clock. Is start a drive at your own 3-yard line and move the ball all the way down the field into the other team's territory, and that's exactly what Middletown's done here. Double tight end formation. Treader sneaks through one, makes one man miss in the backfield, and then goes ahead for another 3 yards. Be short of the first down by about 4, and it'll be 3rd and 4 for Middletown at the East Pennsboro 34-yard line. So this is an interesting call here, Steve. Obviously, on a 3rd and 4, how Middletown's run the ball, you'd expect the running play here, but the play-action pass has been effective, and also Leonard Brown with the play-action to one side and then rolls the other way, has the option to run or pass, so we'll see what happens here. Wide to the near side, Baker and Floyd also to the near side. So all the power on one side, give Baker left side, almost hitting the backfield and taken down. Instead, he's going to be short of the first down. Tackle made by East Pennsboro's Brian McGegan. But in the backfield, I believe that was Tim Martz making the initial hit in the backfield to really slow Baker up.
It's going to bring up a 4th down and 2, and Middletown will go for it in this position from the East Pennsboro 33-yard line.
Punt doesn't gain you much, especially if it goes in the end zone. Double tight formation. Give. Baker, left side. No, sir. Great play by Mike Weaver up from the secondary. And the 5'9", 155-pound junior defensive back brings Baker down a yard short of the first down. And the Panthers will have the ball, trailing by only 6 points with just under 10 minutes left to go here in the ball game.
Now, Brian, this has been a hard-nosed football game. Middletown has controlled the ball for most of this game, as Middletown has Baker's carried the ball 26 times, Treader's carried the ball 12 times, Brown's kept it 4 times, and East Pennsboro barely with 15 running plays.
Schreiber back to pass, fires across the middle, incomplete, in and out in the hands of Dion Magaro. Magaro is open, and again, we see that little seam pass right in the middle of the zone, about 12 yards down the field. Magaro just couldn't hold on.
Yeah, Schreiber has had a rough game here thus far. 6 for 15 for 85 yards. He does have a touchdown pass. There's 3 interceptions in the first half. Led way to some Middletown points, and points have been hard to come by tonight.
2 wide to the far side, 2 wide to the near side. Hart the single setback behind Schreiber. 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Faking the slot pass and now going across the middle. He faked long to Magaro after that, and not sure who he was throwing to after that. Between Chad Swigert and Gabe Swager, 2 wideouts for this Panthers team, and they both, neither one had much of a chance. That ball was thrown low from the beginning.
Yeah, it was. Mike Treader was the Middletown defender in the area. He actually slipped and fell to the ground due to the wet ground. It was thrown way behind him, but should have been complete. It would have been good for a first down.
3rd and 10 from the 31-yard line of East Pennsboro. Panthers in the shotgun. Hart standing next to Schreiber. Rolling left is Schreiber, and he tries to get outside. Tyrone Noon, big sack for the Blue Raiders. Brings him down at the 25-yard line, and that's going to force the Panthers to punt.
And it shows the mobility of the big guys, 6 foot 4 inch, 172 pounds, and he just chased himself down a quarterback and got him for a loss of about 5 or 6 yards. We'll call it loss of 5, and it's going to shut the door on this drive by the Panthers.
So now it will be back to punt for East Pennsboro. Making his second punt of the game is Joe Walker. He stands at his own 13-yard line, flag thrown, usually against the offense for illegal motion in that situation. And Middletown will let the punt drop down and be down at the 40-yard line of Middletown. Punt of about 33 yards on the play, but again, we have penalty flags down against East Pennsboro.
And I'm sure Middletown will have them march it off and re-punt.
It's a tough call here for some source, because with the Middletown return game, you have to wonder, but motion against the offense, and Middletown declines it, so they will put their offense back on the field.
Yes, they will. Exciting. Well, maybe we don't want to fumble the punt away.
Very true. You never can tell what's going to happen on those special teams. And might as well take the ball while you've got it. 8:44 and counting left to go in the ball game. 12-6 Middletown with a tenuous 6-point lead. Baker, Treader in the backfield behind Leonard Brown. Those three have carried the ball the entire game for Middletown. Mostly Baker, but this time it's Treader sweeping left side, and he's forced outside. McGarrow is there, as is Calvin Everett, and they wrap up Treader and bring him down for a loss of 3. They're just looking for that sweep left side now, and they're getting great penetration.
The important thing here for the Raiders is hold on to the ball. You saw a lot of arm tackling or ball tackling there by the Panthers. They're looking to force the fumble, and they're desperate here with 8 minutes to go, looking to force a mistake from this Middletown team and get great field position and get back and take a lead in this game.
Still plenty of time left for these Panthers. I mean, you can't count them out. And Schreiber has shown signs from time to time, and with Rodney Hart, anything is possible. Flag thrown, and we're going to have a delay of game penalty against the Middletown Blue Raiders. So that marches the Blue Raiders off another 5 yards, brings up a second down and 18 for Middletown. These are little mistakes that by this time of the season you just can't afford to have happen. So with 7:42 left to go here in the fourth, Middletown a second down and long. Do you throw the football here? Did you run it on the ground again, Steve?
You run it. You run time off the clock. Now, a lot of people would like to see him throw the ball, but
how about a little play action fake? You've been rolling Brown out anyways most of this game, but double tight end formation. Give Baker sweeping left side, brought down, great tackle again. It's Tim March from the linebacker position, and East Pennsboro has really stepped it up defensively here in the second half. No gain for Baker, and it's third down. They even lost a yard on that one. Third down and 19 for Middletown at their own 31-yard line.
Well, now it's a tough call.
I don't think there's any question. You're so far away from the first down now. You just either run the ball with Brown,
or you have to throw it long. But I don't think.
Or run the ball with Baker. You've got to run time off the clock if that's your idea, anyways. Double tight end formation, pitch play. Treader sweeping left side, almost brought down, grabbed around the shoulder pads. Some fans thought it was a face mask, but it was Joe Walker getting the shoulder pads of Treader and turning him back and bringing him down for a gain of, give him 2.5 on the play. So it'll be fourth down for Middletown, and they'll have to punt from their own 33-yard line.
East Pennsboro won't get bad field position out of this. That was a great stand there put up by the Panther defense, as they should give their offensive unit decent field position.
And it will be Chortenoff standing back at his own 21-yard line. Chortenoff slips and falls. Ball kicked by an East Pennsboro player, and the ball now tossed out of bounds. But there, the wet field really coming into play as Chortenoff lost his footing as the snap was a little low, and as he went to kick, his plant foot just slipped out from under him. That's the big break East Pennsboro is looking for.
Yeah, East Pennsboro will have the ball. Looks like on the Middletown 31-yard line with 6 minutes and 12 seconds to go in this game, only down by 6. Now we'll see what the East Pennsboro offense can do with this big break.
Big game, more so for the Panthers, but also for the Raiders. Rodney Hart, the only back in the backfield. Back to Pasco Schreiber. He will roll himself. He's got some room up to the 25 and inside to the 21-yard line, where he's brought down by Mike Treader, the safety of Middletown.
It's going to be close to a first down. Not sure if they're going to measure or not.
He's going to be a yard short. So second down and 1 for East Pennsboro with 5:47 and counting left to go here in the fourth quarter. And who knows, maybe another overtime game. Wouldn't that be wild, 2 weeks in a row? Hart, again, the single setback. Will he get the carry on 2nd and 1? The give is to Hart. He squirts through the line, and he's going to be close, but they're going to push him back again. No gain on the play as a host of Raiders in there. Sino, as well as Baker and Noon, make the stop on Hart. It'll be 3rd down and 1 coming up for East Pennsboro. Brian Kaiser, along with Steve Lee, our wireless microphone man for the second half, is Matt Demme. 5:13 left to go. Middletown leads at 12-6. No scoring in this second half, as both teams have run a lot of time off the clock. Also, Roger Garber down on the sidelines. He's got it in the power I formation coming up for East Pennsboro. Give, Hart, squirts through, and he's got a first down for the Panthers. He was hit just short of the first down by Deuce, but Deuce didn't have enough on him to bring him down, and instead it was Hart falling forward to pick up an East Pennsboro first down, and a big one at that.
Rodney Hart in the game so far, 16 carries for 72 yards. Middletown has slowed him down a little bit here in the second half, but they need to stop him now.
2 wide to the near side. That's Everett and Schweigert. Far side, Swagger and McGarrow. Hart single setback. Give on the delayed handoff is Hart, sweeping left side. Trying to get around Noon. He does, but he does not get by J.J. Baker. Gain of 2 on the play for Rodney Hart. And East Pennsboro with the ball at the 18-yard line of Middletown.
Now the run really hasn't worked for any big yardage except for Schreiber's keeper on this series yet. Got to look for him to maybe throw one up here on 2nd and 8.
That seam in the middle has been open, but it seems to close down a bit more once you get to the goal line. We'll see what happens. East Pennsboro in the shotgun. Man in motion for them is Weaver. He goes, trips to the far side. Back to pass. Schreiber fires left. Wide open is Weaver, and he overthrows him. Wide open on the play was Mike Weaver. No one within 5 yards of him is Schreiber. At the last second, saw him and overthrew him.
And the closest Middletown defender there was Nordai, and it probably would have been an easy score for Weaver had the pass been down about 3 feet to where he could catch it. That's a big break for the Middletown defense.
Middletown not adjusting to the motion that time from Weaver, and almost cost him. 3:47 left to go. 3rd and 8, East Pennsboro at the Middletown 18-yard line. Schreiber, shuffle pass, up to Hart, complete. He goes to the 15-yard line, tries to get inside, and brought down just short of a first down at the 11-yard line of Middletown. And we've got a key 4th down again for the Panthers.
Now that's the old safety valve there as Schreiber was in trouble. He had a man coming in on him. I think it was Tyrone Noon.
Actually, that was a shuffle pass from the beginning, though, Steve. They were pulling the line to the right side the entire way that time. And they were setting that one up, and they blocked it well.
At any rate, it was the infamous pass back middle.
Inside joke there, and on 4th and 1, we won't explain it. Power I, offset to the right side. Hart, the deep man. Give this to Hart. He bursts up the middle for a first down for the Panthers. And the East Pennsboro sideline erupts with 3 minutes and counting left to go here in the fourth quarter. 1st and goal for the Panthers at the 8-yard line of Middletown. And again, a chance for a defensive stand. Mike Treader coming off, holding his wrist. And it is Randy Hefner who will check into the ball game for him for Middletown.
Now this is the second time this half that East Pennsboro's been down inside the 10. First and goal.
Power eye left. Middletown shifts that way. Hart cuts it back the other way and gets inside the 2. To the 2-yard line. Gain of 6 for Rodney Hart. And really exploding off the ball now are the offensive linemen from East Pennsboro. What a big game this is for the Panthers. And they are only, call it, 2 yards away from tying it up and having an extra point possibility to win it. Schreiber. Power eye left. Middletown over shifts again to the left side. This time give. Hart cuts it back. Touchdown. He cut it back smartly to the right side, and East Pennsboro has tied it up at 12 with 2:14 left to go in the fourth quarter. Extra point pending for the Panthers.
An extra point is pending. We've seen 2 attempts here in this game thus far. One was blocked and one was missed. The one was missed by East Pennsboro. One from Middletown was blocked. And now, for a chance to give East Pennsboro the lead, will be their kicker. And that's Justin Prince.
It'll be Schreiber doing the spotting. Can't see who's doing the snapping. Middletown all-out rush here to try to block this one. Here's the snap. Ball placed down. Kick is up. Kick is good. And East Pennsboro has taken a 1-point lead, 13-12, with 2:14 left to go in the fourth quarter. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the exciting conclusion of this one. Back after this on the Blue Raiders Sports Network. Bring us back. Welcome back, Middletown's War Memorial Field. Brian Kaiser, Steve Leedy, and down on the sideline to our Roger Garber.
Thanks, Brian. It seems that Mike Treader has a contusion on his left elbow, and trainer Pete Fox is unsure whether he'll be ready to go back in the game later on. Back upstairs.
Well, so thank you very much there, Roger Garber, and just a wild formation. The Duck V coming up for East Pennsboro, and they kick it deep. Terrell Daniels at the 15. Brings it up to the 35. He's got a crease at the 35. Breaks a tackle at the 35-yard line. He's finally brought down. I saw the 35-yard line about 3 times that time, and actually it turned out to be the 25, the 30, and the 35, but he's finally brought down at the 36-yard line is Terrell Daniels, and that's where Middletown will come up. 1st and 10. They've got all their timeouts, and in the shotgun formation are the Blue Raiders. Floyd to the near side. Treader as a wing to the near side. Sayers to the far side. Baker's the wing to the far side. Baker next to Brown in the shotgun. Ball rolls back to Brown. He swings to the left side, and he will run it. And he will get out of bounds. And I'm not sure where they're calling him out of bounds because the referee got taken down as well.
Looks like they're going to mark this just across the 40-yard line. Maybe just shy of the 40-yard line, or maybe right on the 40-yard line. It's going to be right on the 40-yard line, so it'll be a pickup of about 3, second and 7.
Good thing for Middletown there. It stops the clock. Bad thing, it only gets them a couple yards. 2nd down and 7. Fires across the middle. Sayers can't hold on. Ball thrown a little bit behind Sayers at the East Pennsboro 47-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 for Middletown with 1:49 left to go. East Pennsboro has taken the lead 13-12 over Middletown after a Rodney Hart touchdown. Middletown wants timeout. We're going to keep it right here. And Steve Leedy, if you're Middletown in this situation, 3rd down and 6, what do you do?
Well, you obviously got to think that Middletown's got to throw the ball in this situation. You need 7 yards. So we'll call it 6.5 yards for a 1st down. You definitely have 2 plays to do it because you're obviously not going to punt being down in this situation. So the run is a minor option, but I think they got to throw it. Throw it downfield enough for the 1st down.
And what a clutch comeback here in this game by East Pennsboro. A team that was down, and Middletown just content to run the ball, chew time off the clock. And finally, East Pennsboro breaks through and a gutsy
they got the break.
performance.
They got the break. It was the punt by Chortnoff when he slipped. And that's due to the wet field here. You can't really blame him for that.
Well, no question about that. Chortnoff, it's not that he did anything wrong. It's just one of those freaks of nature, and sometimes it costs you a football game, and this could be the Middletown didn't take advantage of all of their breaks in this football game, and that could cost them. Brown comes up double tight end formation, and two backs offset in the backfield are Baker and Treader. Fakes the handoff to Baker, fires across the middle, intercepted! Intercepted by Joe Walker. He was looking for Floyd across the middle, and Walker steps in, and East Pennsboro may be making their way to the AA playoffs in the District 3 as they lead 13-12 with a minute 42 left to go in this football game.
Yep, Walker saw it all the way. Leonard Brown looked over the middle, had Floyd, or he thought he was open, and Walker came in from the backside from where Brown was looking. Brown never saw him.
That's a formation thing, too. That's something you learn in film study. Middletown comes up in that sort of formation, a passing situation. He loves looking for Floyd. 9 times out of 10, that's where he goes. Walker knew it, and he stepped right in. And now, power eye right. And the clock will stop on a delay of game penalty as East Pennsboro using as much of the clock as they possibly can. Middletown still with 2 timeouts. So if they can get a stop, they can try for a miracle finish, but most of the fans realize that that's not going to happen in all likelihood. Thank our sponsors for this game, the law firm of Scarlatus and Zonerish, Newcomer Oil, Fox's Market, Olmsted Plaza Barbershop, Rhodes Pharmacy, Metzler's Hillsdale Nursery, and Daly's Golf. Our thanks to their sponsors for their support of Blue Raider football on WMSS. Schreiber takes a knee. Loss of 2. Middletown calls timeout immediately. Let's hear from one of our fine sponsors. There's a minute 11 left to go in this ball game. 13-12, East Pennsboro with a great comeback. They lead it by 1 late in the game. We'll be back after this on the Blue Raider Sports Network. Let's hear from one of our fine sponsors who pays the patron drive. What? East Pennsboro back to the line. Schreiber on a second down and very long will take a knee again. Loses 2 yards again, and timeout Middletown. We'll take one as well. We'll keep it back at our studios for this one. Actually, we'll bring it back right after this one. Minute 8 left to go in the ball game. 13-12, Middletown in all likelihood will get the ball back. But not a lot of time left when they do. We'll see what East Pennsboro decides to do. Welcome back to War Memorial Field here in Middletown. It's minute 8 left to go in the game. East Pennsboro has taken a knee one more time. And now they will try again. Middletown is now out of timeouts. It's a 3rd down and 20 for East Pennsboro. Interesting situation, though. They're going to have to punt the football and probably have to punt it with about 30 seconds left to go in the game. And saw what happened with Chortnoff, so
yeah,
anything is still possible.
I'm sure Middletown will be sending the probably 10 or 11. I wouldn't doubt to see 11 players up on the punt attempt, but I wouldn't doubt to see Craig Robbins just take the delay call after this knee.
And again, the knee is put down at the 41-yard line of East Pennsboro. 4th down. And we'll see exactly where they spot the ball with exactly 1 minute left to go, so they should be able to march it down quite a bit more. And guess what? I think Coach Denizetti is calling for the punt block here.
Yeah, definitely. You're not setting up the return in this one.
You got to go after him, and that's what Middletown's going to do, and East Pennsboro going to be content to take the delay penalty here. 36-35, they lead by 1, and a little bit slow on stopping the clock with 32 seconds left. Actually, timeout East Pennsboro. A good call from East Pennsboro. You've got the timeouts. You might as well use them and run it down as far as you possibly can and not cost yourself 5 more yards of field position, which could end up costing you. So we'll keep it right here. with 32 seconds left. And I'll tell you what, after last week, this is a tough pill for Middletown to swallow if they do indeed end up losing this football game, which it appears like they will with 32 seconds left to go in this one. And East Pennsboro with a 1-point lead. I mean, you have a tough game against Lower Dauphin, and yes, East Pennsboro is an excellent football team, but it's a team that you really expected to win. Middletown controlled this football game, just did not come through in the big key situations, with the exception of that touchdown, that goal line stand in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's really, East Pennsboro only had 3 opportunities in this game. Middletown shut one of those out, but the extra point conversions ended up being a major factor here. Middletown gets an extra point blocked and then incomplete on the 2-point conversion after their last touchdown, and East Pennsboro able to make one.
Baker far back waiting. They send the punt block? No, sir. And Baker will call for the fair catch, doesn't come up with it, and the clock will roll. And he finally grabs the ball at the 19-yard line. And with 24 seconds left, Middletown sprinting down the field to try to get back and set up. And again, the clock rolls as soon as the ball is placed down on a change of possession in high school football. So with 24 seconds left, Middletown in the shotgun formation. They are a long way from pay dirt. Brown calls the signals, and they spend a whole 4 seconds getting the ball snapped. Brown looking, fires, Damian Floyd, incomplete. And I don't understand that one. You've got to get a little bit more yardage than that with 15 seconds left. Middletown's still 80 yards away from pay dirt and a victory in this game.
I can't rule out the field goal in this situation, but Middletown still needs a lot of yards.
Brown back to pass. He's going to run. Now fires. Damian Floyd slips right through his fingers. But again, that's only an 8-yard pass. Brown forced out of the pocket with 10 seconds left. Middletown has a 3rd down and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And again, obviously, they are in the shotgun formation. And we'll see what Middletown has here. It is Nordai. Treader to the near side. Baker, Sayers to the far side. Treader in motion to the far side. Brown back to pass, rolls right, McGarrow on his tail. Brown is yanked down, and that's going to be the ball game with 3 seconds left. And East Pennsboro is on their way to the AA playoffs with a 13-12 upset of the Middletown Blue Raiders here at Middletown's War Memorial Field. What a victory for East Pennsboro and a tough game for Middletown. And we're going to take a break. We'll have post-game comments from both coaches after this. 13-12, East Pennsboro over Middletown. Back after this on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.